Hey everybody, this is Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Change Your Health, Change Your Life, former health kick. Gotta watch it, I can't kick so good anymore, but great day today, Mother's Day. I had such a wonderful morning this morning with my boys, and my mom and dad came over, and I made them a brunch out here on our home, and sat out on the porch, and really just enjoyed some time with my mother and father. And what I can tell you on Mom's Day, and just about your mom, is one of the great memories I have with my mother growing up is that, and I think what really defines why I have such respect and love for my mom, certainly now as a father and thinking back as a child, is that my mother always put the interests of her children ahead of herself. And you know, my mother wasn't concerned about having a fancy car, having fancy clothes, or certainly, you know, traveling or going out. And you know, her purpose, her goal, her mission was one, and her mission was to raise up healthy, smart, you know, well-dressed, well-educated children, and at the cost of any really simple sense of her happiness. In fact, she drew her happiness from that. So it's so great to just sit with her today on our porch and actually make her you know, a brunch and just kind of roll out the carpet for her and make her the important person of the day. And hopefully you guys have had that opportunity with your mothers. I think that's important. Today's topic is on heart rate variability. What the heck is that? Heart rate variability is one of those characteristics that is so critical, and it's not often talked about because it's really a research type measurement. And what heart rate variability is, so we understand that, is we don't think about it, but our heart beats. You know, we think about taking our pulse, bump, 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 bump. But when we measure the heart rate, what we notice is that it varies by the microsecond. So there's a variation. The heart doesn't beat exactly. The space between the beats, the silence between the heartbeats, if you will, is different just by a teeny little bit. And that's a measurement that we use now to assess the overall health of the physiology of the individual. In fact, what we're finding now is one of the simplest ways, non-invasive ways, to measure, one measurement to measure the overall physiologic state of health or wellness in a person, in a patient, is that measurement over blood pressure and cholesterol and all the blood work and all that other stuff, which can be very important. But sitting somebody down and just measuring the silence between the notes is critical now in determining the overall health. When we see that their body has a ability to vary the heart rate, we know that they're very healthy. When we see somebody lacks the ability to vary the heart rate, we sense that we know now physiologically the body is very sick. Now, one of the examples I want to jump to quickly is that we came up with an artificial heart. I should say we scientists came up with artificial hearts. So what they did is they put the heart in people, and the heart had a beat that was exactly the same, and people died from it. And the reason being is that the physiologic state, the amount of oxygen and the amount of pressure that the piping, the plumbing of the body could handle, it can't handle that pressure at the same rate, at the same pressure all the time. So the heart varies. Maybe it beats a little sooner, maybe it beats a little later, maybe it doesn't beat as hard. So it varies the rate in order to adjust to the overall need or physiology of the body, if that makes sense. So kind of like the water pressure in your house, there's a computer in there that would vary the pressure so you don't get a high blast of water all the time, or you don't get a slow trickle. We're trying to keep the pressure exactly the same, and therefore we need a computer in there, a gauge, in order to measure the water pressure all the time. Okay, so what does that mean? So one of the things that we now see is that the heart rate variability, one of the very important criteria in order for the body to measure and regulate the heart rate variability, is the nervous system. So as we talked about before, you got a computer up here, and it sends electrical data down the spine. Think of your heart as like a monitor, or your pancreas like the printer. So you got this iPhone, if you will, that's communicating data and messages up and down the body all the time. And we've learned now that if the spine isn't healthy, now there's a word very specific and unique to chiropractic, and that's called subluxation. So when the spine is crooked, it's not moving properly, what we'll call scientifically is subluxation. What that means is it presses on the nerves, so the computer can't talk to the printer as well. So the image on the monitor or the printer is not as good as it should be. And if it stays like that a long time, that printer or monitor is going to get sick. The pancreas, the large intestine, the heart is going to get sick. So what we find is people under regular chiropractic care. What does that mean? That means their spine is getting assessed for subluxation, and that misalignment is being corrected so the messages can flow through the body, most importantly to the heart better. Their heart rate variability dramatically improves. And there's been many studies. One that I mentioned now was in the Journal of Manipulative and Physiological Therapeutics, 2006, and they talked about the effect of chiropractic care on heart rate variability and in pain in a multi-site clinical study. So they were assessing, did people feel better with their pain? Yes. And did they feel better, or did they see a physiologic improvement with the nervous system? Most importantly, specifically, heart rate variability. So I want to just step back for a moment and talk about that heart rate variability again. It's a measurement that all scientists use. It's not specific and unique to chiropractic. It is what physiologists are using now to assess the overall health of the entire body. Okay? So it's not something specific and unique to chiropractic. But what they are seeing is, because the heart rate variability is so important in assessing overall health, wellness, and function of the body, that any change, even slight deviation in the spinal alignment, causes a loss of proper electrical communication. Bad phone signal, right? Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? In a sense, that's what your heart's saying. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And by not hearing that signal, by having a bad antenna, what's happening is the heart can't vary itself, and therefore the body gets sicker. It's so critical to understand how important that is. And what I love about these studies now is they don't have anything to do with pain. You know, in other words, we have people that are asymptomatic. Hey, I feel great. We check their heart rate variability. They're sick. They just don't feel it. You got to remember that you're sick for a long time before you ever feel sick. You've been sick for a long time. So it's a great tool of measurement to look at somebody and go, you know what? I know you feel great, but your heart rate variability is off. And as a result, you're getting sicker and sicker. So let's check to see where the spine is subluxated. Where is there nerve interference? Where is the computer not talking to the printer? Where is there a bad signal of antenna to the heart? Let's correct that. Let's improve the signal. And there's the last stage, which is so critical that most people just really forget. They drop the ball, and that's keeping you healthy. One of the great benefits of chiropractic care is it's true wellness care. You know, medicine gets lost in this wellness care of checking your blood levels and blood pressure and so forth, and treating it with drugs. Chiropractic care steps back and says, listen, we believe the body should be healthy and is designed to be healthy, so we want to take the steps necessary, predominantly checking the nervous system to make sure that it's healthy all the time. Rather than waiting till you're sick, we want to get heavily involved now so that you don't get sick. You know, it's like changing the oil. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like caring for your body all the time so that you don't get sick. And like I grew up with my grandmother telling me, you know, that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Our whole medical system has totally forgotten about that. Chiropractic care never forgot about that. We scream it from the platforms, but because of a lack of understanding, people don't realize that, listen, we're wellness doctors. We're like dentists of the spine. We're actively involved with keeping the teeth clean, brushing them, flossing them, getting professionally clean regularly so they don't get sick. We're very much involved keeping the spine healthy and in good alignment so the messages from the brain can talk to the body, so the body works the way it was intended so that you don't get sick. Not waiting until you have back pain in order to start care. We're saying to hell with back pain. Let's get involved now so that you don't ever get sick neurologically. Hopefully that makes sense. Listen, I hope you moms out there had a great Mother's Day. I hope kids, and dads and all those other people that need to appreciate moms. So hopefully you took that time out today to really step back and appreciate your mother. Remember, guys, you got to eat well, take a good night's sleep, drink a lot of water, exercise, talk good thoughts. I can't talk here, I'm so excited. Say good thoughts to yourself. Remember, you, your mother, your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your cousin, your coworker, everybody in your world, everybody in your life needs to be under regular chiropractic care. Keep the messages flowing throughout the body. Have a great Mom's Day. Can't wait to talk to you guys next week.